Hello there and welcome to Black Jackal Gaming. We're going to take a look at the Primaris Apothecary. Here's the Space Marine Healer. Now quite handedly he can join a decent amount of units, but he's not quite as potent as he was in 9th edition. He does come with an ability to bring a model back in your command phase, but there's no way to buff his healing ability. He has a decent enough ability to gain a CP if the unit he's leading dies, and he's got quite a nice anti-marine type pistol. Looking at the datasheet, it comes in at 50 points, which is really reasonable. Comes with a movement profile of 6 inches, toughness 4, a 3-up save, 4 wounds, leadership 6 and 1 objective control. He can join quite a few units, being that of the Assault Intercessors, Devastators, Hellblasters, Desolation Marines, Infernus Squad, Sternguard Veterans and the Humble Tactical Marines as well. So a good mix of Firstborn and Primaris units. He has a range profile of ballistic skill 3+, and is equipped with 2 pistols, the first being the Absolver pistol, which has the pistol keyword. It comes with an 18-inch range, 1 attack, strength 5, -1 AP and 2 damage, so not too bad a pistol. Next you have the Reductor pistol. When you're up close and dirty to your opponent, this has a 3-inch range, 1 attack, strength 4, a very nice -4 AP and 2 damage, so this is your Space Marine killer. For his melee profile, he comes with a weapon skill 3+, and unfortunately he's only equipped with a close combat weapon. This comes in at 4 attack, strength 4, 0 AP and 1 damage. It would be nice if they just give him more of a surgical combat weapon. It doesn't have to be anything out there, but if it just had -1 AP, that would be quite nice rather than just your standard close combat weapon. The model comes with 2 abilities, the first one being Narthesium. While leading a unit, you can return one of the destroyed models back to the unit in your command phase. This does exclude any characters that are part of the unit. It can only be your ordinary models. Next we have Gene Seed Recovery, which is a bit of a weird name for this ability because it's nothing to do with Gene Seed Recoveries or anything to do with healing really. So when a unit is destroyed, you can roll 1d6 and on a 2+ you gain 1 CP, which is quite a good ability to have, but doesn't quite fit with the Apothecary really. So what buffs and combos can you give to the Apothecary? Well, first up, he's got quite a nice ability where he is still eligible to join one of the units he can join if it's already led by a captain, chapter master or a lieutenant, which is a really nice ability to have. For his ability to bring back a man from the unit, the only one that you really want to use it on is Hellblasters and Desolation Marines, as they're expensive enough to justify the cost of an Apothecary. Some of the other units like the Assault Intercessors are only 75 points and normal Intercessors being 80 points, so you're only spending an extra 25 to 30 points to get an entire 5-man squad rather than just bring back one, which could just be 4 times a game really. So you're not really getting an awful lot of utility out of them, especially if the squad gets wiped. However, it is potentially a cheap way to gain access to a lot of the enhancements in the codex because he is only 50 points. So there's ones out there that can either buff himself or the unit he's in. And for 50 points plus 10 to 20 points, that's not too bad really. His second ability is a little bit on the weak side. It almost guarantees a CP, but I don't really understand why you need to roll for it. He should just get it. It's just adding a little bit of doubt into an ability that's just okay. If you're putting him in a unit and it gets destroyed, is it really worth potentially gaining a CP? I'd rather him be attached to a unit and have a healing ability to go alongside his other ability. So a Feel No Pain 6+ would be much better, or just having the ability to heal a model within the command phase, as well as joining a couple of other types of squads. If you could join the Blade Guard Veterans, which are 3 wounds, and he has the healing ability or Feel No Pain, that would be really nice and a nice little buff for them. There's quite a nice cheap way to gain an extra lone operative ability in the army because you're a little bit low on them for options. So you could give him a Ghostweave Cloak, which is an enhancement from the Vanguard Spearhead, and this would push him to 65 points. So that's not too bad for a model that's lone operative and has stealth. So you can either use him as an action monkey or use him there to hold an objective, because it's been very hard to remove him because you can't target him within 12 inches and he's -1 to hit. So that's not too bad at all. There's a bit of a way to buff his healing ability indirectly. So if you put him in the Anvil Siege Force, you can give him an enhancement called Stoic Defender, and this grants the unit that he's leading a Feel No Pain 6+. As well as that, that's when you're on an objective. As well as that, if you are battle shocked, you only halve your OC amount per model rather than going down to 0. So it allows you to hold on to objectives that could potentially be flipped. And that Feel No Pain, it adds to how thematic he has as a model, where he should be healing, he should be buffing and supporting, and it just leads more into that really for him. Now, I do quite like how they have essentially given him a Marine killer weapon with that strength 4, -4 AP, 2 damage. Even though it's only one shot, it is the profile to kill Marines. Now, if you put him in Firestorm Assault Force, his pistol will gain the assault keyword, so you can advance and still shoot it, getting into that 3 inches of range, and you get +1 to the strength characteristic as well. So the reductor pistol is now at strength 5, -4 AP, 2 damage. So unless they're going to pop something like Armor of Contempt, you've got a very good chance to hit wound, and then he's not going to have a save against it. So to kill a Marine is quite a good option to have. If you wanted to turn him into a little bit of a nuisance unit, you could attach him to the Assault Intercessors and just be cheap and annoying. You can couple it with the Champion of Humanity enhancement, which removes all modifiers for the unit. So they will have the ability to charge in and do a lot of damage without having to suffer any minuses to hit or minuses to the wound roll. So you're going to get a lot more consistency out of it. And again, it's quite cheap and you can throw them around and do a lot of damage. You'd also have the reroll of 1s to wound in melee with the Assault Intercessors, or a full reroll to wound if they're on objective. So any minuses to wound will really bump up the efficiency for this unit, because you can just ignore it and make sure you're getting plenty of damage in there for your T3 and T4 units. So there you have it. He's quite a cheap character to take, and he does have some buffing he can give out. Whether he's worth the points or not, his abilities could be slightly better. He's not the force that he was in 9th edition. Him being able to bring back a model and fully heal someone, and you could give him the Selfless Healer upgrade to make it even better. And he gives the Feel No Pain aura as well, so he's a great unit to have because he buffed many units around him and could really support your army. Now, when he can only attach to the one unit and he is only bringing one model back, and that's essentially it, you're not going to get the most benefit out of him, because again, like I said, unless you're taking the Hellblasters or the Desolation Marines, most of the other Marines, they're quite cheap in body, so bringing them back isn't really getting you much out of the unit. You might as well just take another squad of Assault Intercessors, and when you consider that a 5-man unit of Scouts is only 65 points, for 15 points more you get something that can forward deploy, scout, as well as be able to be an action monkey and annoy the opponent, rather than putting 50 points into one model that has to attach to another unit that isn't really going to achieve much at the same time. Check out these other videos and I'll see you next time.